Okay guys, so this is going to be the very first workout. It's going to look shitty. That's just the bottom line. It's not going to be a fancy, very well-defined workout because I have not done this before. I'm following a program that I found online. I'll tell you more about it later, but the basic principles are push, pull, squat, swing, and press. So all I'm going to need for this are 2 dumbbells. At the moment, I've got on here 7 kilograms on each, so these are about 15 pounds, which is not a lot of weight, but considering my age and how long I've been out of the weightlifting game, this is going to be adequate, and as soon as I find it not adequate, I've got more weight over there to add on to it. So the first exercise we're going to be looking at is swing. Now, you can do this with a kettlebell. You can do this with a barbell. Both are okay. Basically, it's the old kettlebell movement of going up, going down, and that is a swing, right? Now, this movement is chosen specifically, from my understanding, because it works out pretty much your entire body. Works out your legs, your core, your shoulders, your arms, everything, because you're not using your arms like this to lift the weight. You're actually using your body to swing the weight, right? So that's exercise 1. That's the swing. Once the swing is done, you go straight into the press. So I've got my 2 barbells now, and I go straight up into a press and back down again. So that is the press. Nice and easy, not much more you can say about that. Next is the squat. To do the squat, we bring our weights back up, again still holding our weights, and we squat down into squat position and then back up. Now this particular program, the next step calls for the pull and press. So what they're talking about here is taking your weights, putting them on the floor like this. All right, so once down on the floor, you've got your weights about shoulder width apart, and I'm not going to go up to full push-up position simply because I'm just not strong enough at the moment and I don't want to injure myself. I'm going to take it easy to start, and once I feel confident and strong enough, then I will move to the next position. But basically, it starts off, it goes pull, pull. Right? That's the pull process. And then from there, push up, right? Pull, pull, very challenging even on the knees, and push up. So that is the set. Now, you're saying, wow, you only did that one time. How can that be good exercise? Well, easy, because that is the first set. We're going to do a grand total of 15 sets. And by that I mean, according to this program I'm looking at, 1 set first of all the exercises of just 1 rep. Then we rest for 30 seconds and move on to the second rep, which is, or the second set, which is 2 reps. Rest for a minute. Third set, which is 3 reps. Etc. until we get up to 8, until we're actually doing 8 reps in the set. Once we get to that point, we rest for 30 seconds and go back down. So we start off at 1 rep, 2 reps, 3 reps, 4 reps, 5 reps, etc. up to 8, and then back down again from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is the exercise. It takes about half an hour. Now, as I mentioned, due to my age and inability to do the floor work as much as I'd like to, it's not very realistic for me. It's going to, especially when I get up to date, it's not going to be possible. So I'm going to modify a bit to begin with. When I'm doing the upright rows, the pulling portion, I'm going to actually come over here to my bench and do a more traditional row instead. Right? And then move on from there. Once I feel strong enough to actually do the floor work, I will, but for now, I'm going to do it this way. It just saves me at my weight from getting up and down to the ground all the time, which is exercise in itself, but it's going to cause undue hardship on my knees, which have problems anyway. So don't be afraid to modify to do what you need to do. And again, when it comes to the push-ups, yes, I'm doing the push-ups on my knees because otherwise it's going to be too difficult. And to start off with, I'm going to use, you can't see it in the video here, maybe not. There's a bench here that's everything is sitting on. So as opposed to doing my push-ups on the floor, I'm going to do my push-ups on this bench. Again, it saves me from having to go all the way down to the floor, and it does take some of my body weight off of my joints, because keep in mind, I'm 270 pounds. I'm not a lightweight, so getting up and down off the floor is tough. Even a push-up in kneeling position is very tough. Now this angle is very, very forgiving, so I can do push-ups this way, and I'm still getting benefit. Don't think I'm cheating or ripping myself off in the exercise department. This still is exercise. It's still working my body. It's just that I'm not putting the strain on my joints that I would be from doing actual push-ups on the floor and getting up and down. Now, if you're a bigger guy than me, and believe me, there are bigger guys than me out there, I know, and even pushing up on the bench like that is difficult, no problem. Wall push-ups. Can you see me there? Yeah. So instead of going all the way down to the ground or even to the bench, I just start doing push-ups right here on the wall. And again, I had a very large friend of mine say to me, but that's not a push-up. How can you justify doing those? And I told him to do 10. And when he was finished his 10, he was hot and sweaty and uncomfortable. And I said, did those feel like push-ups? He said, yes. So is it better to actually go down to the floor, try to do full military push-ups, and fail, and not be able to do one at all? What happens then is in your head, you start thinking you're a failure. You stop doing them. You're like, well, I can't even do one, so why would I do one? No problem. Start off on the wall. 1, easy. Once the wall is easy, come over to the bench. 1, not so bad. When that gets easy, level off your bench. Right? 1, etc. So you can slowly start progressing down to the floor. So once you actually get down to the floor, you've strengthened yourself, you've probably lost a bit of this, and it's going to make it easier. Then when you get down to the floor and you can do that one solid military press-up, push-up, and maybe that's all you can do, it's still going to feel better than going down to the floor and failing, right? So let's move ahead with the exercise now. I'm going to actually try to make it through this entire workout using the bench for my pull-ups and the table, the bench, or the little dresser I've got over there for my push-ups. So let's get started. All right, guys. There is the upside down pyramid. Starting at 1, going to 8 in supersets, and then at that point, going back down again. Obviously, I didn't make it to 8 today. I did that on purpose because I don't want, on my very first exercise, to injure myself, sabotage my efforts, and then have to wait to start doing this again. I just did 15 days of water fasting specifically in order to be able to get to this point where I can start exercising again. I'm not going to throw that all away. So tomorrow is yoga day, and once again I'm going to show you my routine. It's about half an hour for doing yoga, and then after that I'm going to be doing a 3-and-3 rotation. 1 day of weightlifting, 1 day of yoga. 1 day of weightlifting, 1 day of yoga, with Sundays as my rest day, and then we'll go from there. Of course, this may modify, may change over the course of my process and my progress, but for now, this is what we're going to do. And as you can see, even a highly modified workout like this is still doing what it's supposed to do. All right, let's go think about some lunch.